What's up? What's up? I'm here with my good buddy Luis Rivas from RIVS Smoke and Grill. What's up, my brother?
Hello, my friend. I forgot that this was gonna be an interview in English, so I was cut up a little bit over off guard. But okay, now I'm switching the chip to English.
Yes, sir. We were chatting a little bit in Spanish, but yeah, it's kind of a switch here. But man, glad to have you on the show, man. Of course, we've had you on before when we're doing events and whatnot,
Mm,
but I wanted to do a full blown interview with you, kind of going back to the past and kind of how you got into barbecue and all that good stuff, where you grew up and all that, and then kind of bring you up to speed to where you are now, the star.
mm.
Latin America, you've taken over. You're one of the most influential people in barbecue all over Latin America. So it's great to have you on board. And yeah, welcome to the Crush Barbecue Show, buddy.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Appreciate it as always. It's nice to talk to you. Nice to see you. And well, let's do this.
Heck yeah, man. Hell, we just spent Texas Monthly weekend together a couple weekends ago. So that was a blast, man. Such a good time. So
Yes.
we're fresh off of seeing each other. So yeah, man. So first of all, let's kind of get started with a little bit of background of you, like where you're from, where you grew up, and kind of what got you interested into cooking.
Sure. Well, I'm from Monterrey, Nuevo León. I was born and raised here. And I say also that I'm from Linares, Nuevo León, because my family is from there. My restaurant is there. And I spent pretty much every weekend of my childhood and teenage days in Linares. So I like both cities, but I'm really proud to be of Nuevo León, my state. I grew up in a family of five. My mom, my dad, you know them. My brother, he's the one that lives in Germany, and my sister. And I've been cooking, well, I think since I was a little kid, because, in Nuevo León, our state, the tradition is to do carne asada every weekend. Every Sunday with the grandparents is the excuse to hang out, is to do a carne asada for the lunch. So I've been doing it since ever then. And what really got me like curious about cooking different stuff was when my dad was doing his company Christmas party. He used to have a big construction company. He had around 250 employees there. So every December he made them a special dinner, which he and my uncle cooked themselves. So they do a borrego, a whole sheep, and the taúd in the Chinese box. So that's where I started like falling in love for this world. So that was, I think, my first contact with that. I was maybe 8, 9 years old when I was going to the posadas with him. So those are the Christmas parties. And then afterwards, just hanging out with my friends in junior high school, doing the carne asada on the weekends. So that's where it all started.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Is that something that you always aspired to do? Is be a pit master or be a chef?
Yes, I think when I was choosing my career, I was telling my mom and dad I wanted to do training in culinary school, but they didn't let me. You know how taboos here are in Mexico still. I mean, right now nowadays it's different, but when I wanted to do culinary school, they didn't let me. They tell me, well, first study a real career, and then you can go do whatever you want. So now we know that's. I mean, that's a great way to start. But I mean, I've started by my own, and I studied international business in the Tec de Monterrey, which is one of the top Latin American schools and the best in Mexico. So I went to college there. I'm really proud to have gone there because that gave me the opportunity, first of all, to be hired by a U.S. company to work in Laredo, Texas, and that's where I met barbecue in the beginnings. My first barbecue encounter was with Rudy's. Rudy's, Rudy's
Rudy's
for me
Country
the
Store.
yes, that's for me. That's the McDonald's of barbecues. Rudy's. It's good everywhere you went, where you go. Everywhere you go is good. So,
Yeah,
I mean, of
yeah.
course, we have craft barbecue, we have other stuff, but I mean, Rudy's for me has a special place in my heart when I'm traveling and there's no barbecue joint I can go near, I try to go to Rudy's. And also the cream corn there, the cream corn there is amazing.
Oh
I
yeah,
like it.
yeah. I love that cream corn, man. And they're little breakfast tacos in the morning too.
Oh yeah,
The sausage,
of
the little
course, of
chop,
course.
yeah, the chopped sausage and egg is probably one of my favorites there. But yeah, man, around what time frame was that you kind of got introduced into the Texas
I
barbecue
went
scene?
to Laredo on 2012, and that's where
Okay.
I started. First going to Rudy's because I remember they had a promotion on Tuesdays. And Tuesdays they used to run a $1 beer promotion. I don't know if still that going on. And
Probably
also,
not.
right now inflation. And
Yeah.
also, while I was living in Laredo, I have nothing to do in Laredo. I mean, it's a small town. Laredo's mainly for work purposes, and I watch TV there, and I start watching Barbecue Pitmasters,
Oh
the
yeah.
program where Duffy Stone, Mo Cason, and Myron Mason were judges. Remember,
Nice.
three judges, three competitions. And fun fact, I mean, first that's when I started to see how barbecue was done, and I wanted to try it. I was I want to do that. And then
Mm-hmm.
second, that a lot of the guys that were on the show were now friends. So like Ernest Cervantes was there. A lot of the competition guys that I met were there. And now I met Tuffy. I have Mokason also. I know him. Myron, I only see him once, but I mean that's kind of fun for me because I mean those are the guys that I watch on TV, and I wanted to be like them.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you get to rub shoulders with them,
Yeah,
every once in a while, and some more than others. But yeah, man, that's incredible. That's incredible. And so, all right, so you eat some Rudy's barbecue, you start watching this show, and then you start cooking right away. You start experimenting. How'd that progression go?
I went to Walmart and I buy my first smoker. It's a vertical of smoker, a charbroil, a $75 smoker. I don't think you can buy a smoker for that price anymore anywhere. But but,
Nice.
but I still have it. I still have it. I mean, it's so rusty and everything, but I have it here in my house in a corner. Because for me, that's my first smoker, the one I learned and everything. So it has a special place in my heart.
Absolutely. And what did you start cooking with it when you got it?
Sorry,
What did you start cooking first? Like what type of meat were you cooking?
brisket. I went right on to brisket. I mean,
You're
I
right.
think maybe that was a little bit of a mistake. That was let me say, not a mistake, but it was a expensive experience to start with brisket.
You
Because I
start with brisket.
remember, yeah, I went face off right on, and I said I want to do brisket. So I started with the brisket. I didn't know what to do. At the time, there were no YouTube videos at the time. So what we have there, it was a blog called AmazingRibs.com that had like all the instructions or all detail, but it was written. So I didn't have the YouTube videos to show me how to do it. So my first 10, 15 briskets, they sucked. They were really, really hard. They were impossible to eat. So I didn't know much about what I was doing.
Not even sauce could save them. A little bit of
No,
sauce.
I remember that when I saw it, I read that the brisket should be like overcooked. So I say, well, let's say a well done meat is around 165 Fahrenheit. So for me to overcook it, I want to take it to 175. And no, that was not the case. I was not even close to have it done.
Yeah, it's a lot easier these days where you can just pick up a YouTube video and
Yeah,
kind of you find some of these guys teaching you how to do all that stuff and temps and all that good stuff. So you kind of are the story of like back when I was a kid, this is the way we did it. So but yeah, man, well shit, that's how you learn, right? That's how you learn.
exactly. You learn to experience. That's the best
Yeah.
part, and I think that helped me a lot because since I burned a lot of stuff, I messed up a lot of stuff. I got
Hmm.
a lot of experience from that.
Yeah, yeah, and so I think you started eventually getting into competitions and whatnot. How long did it take you to kind of get to that level, to get to the competition level, and tell me a little bit about your experience when you first started doing competitions.
Okay, yes. My first competition was in 2018. So from
18,
2012
you
to
said?
2018. Yeah, 18.
Okay, okay.
So that was the first one, and that was also the first one. I went to the United States. I went to Laredo, Texas. My friend Tony Bedia, barbecue Tio, he was the one that invited me to a competition in Laredo, and I went there. I didn't know much about competition. I didn't know anything about competition. I didn't know competition barbecue was different than backyard barbecue. So I just imagined what I think I wanted to do, and I remember that my first competition brisket, it looked more like a chorizo than a brisket. It was all like orange and like messy, like it was. I mean, nothing to do to what we do today.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if somebody's going to teach you competition barbecue, barbecue Theo Tony Medea is a good guy to teach you. So glad he came
Yeah.
across. How did you guys meet?
And I don't remember exactly how I met Tony, to be honest.
Yeah,
Uh, I can remember.
yeah.
But we became friends really fast, and he was the one to introduce me to Texas barbecue, really, to introduce me to a lot of people. In that competition, I met Robert Sierra, I met Arnie Tex, I met Ernest Cervantes, uh, and Brian, the barbecue guy. And those guys were the first one that gave me my first advices, my first tips. They helped me a lot, and they start like paving my way to barbecue and make it more easier. Then also because of Tony, I met Saul from 2M. Saul wanted to do some Mexican stuff in his restaurant. He came to Laredo, and I went to Laredo. I was living in Monterrey at the time, and I went to Laredo to meet him, and we met there, and we've been friends since then.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. And so you went, I remember you were going traveling and eating a lot of different barbecue joints to kind of learn, the lay of the land and kind of how people do things and all that good stuff. I think that's
Yes,
how
of
you and
course.
I met,
I
right?
went. I spent a lot of time with Willie T. He teach me a lot. Also, I mean, Willie T has a lot of experience in both competition and in restaurant. So he's a good guy, and I learned a lot from him, especially on the restaurant side to do like mass volumes, and also in another competition in the Houston Rodeo, I met Ronnie Killen, and then I became friends with Ronnie, and Ronnie has been first of all a good friend, and second, like a teacher to me. He always shares his knowledge. He is eager to share his knowledge with people. He's a very open guy, so he's always welcomed me to all of his restaurants, all of his concepts. And I met the amazing pit masters that work with him, like Manny and Margarito. I talk a lot with Manny. He taught me. He teach me how to trim restaurant style like killers do. Then Esaul also taught me how to trim in his way because it's different than in competition. And I've learned from a lot of those guys. I remember Mike Hernandez from Hayes. I mean, those guys for me, even though they are not, they're close right now. Well, they're doing like more like a uh, truck stuff right now. I mean, for me, those guys are an example because they were top 50 for what three editions, like 12 years in Texas Monthly, which is not easy
Hmm.
to say.
Right.
So I admire those guys, Jesse Miranda, Jaime Garcia. I mean, I've learned from a lot of people. I always say that I didn't invent anything in barbecue. I just learned from the best and try to apply that to what I do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think one of the things that's really cool and one of the things that really made me excited when I started kind of seeing you on the scene is that, hey, this is somebody from Mexico that's bringing Texas barbecue into Mexico and making it, and making it known over there, right? Even though there's
Mhm.
some barbecue joints that have been over there, like obviously went to Rangers for their 10th year anniversary, and Oh Jimmy's their 10th year anniversary, so they've been around, they've been around for a while. Um, but once you started coming around and kind of going to all these different places, I think you and I, we met either at was it at it was at Snow's, right? It was at
Stones.
Snow's.
Yeah,
Yep.
Ruben Stones.
Yeah, we met at Snow's one time, and I'm like, man, this is cool. A guy from Mexico that's freaking cooking barbecue, and I think that's probably one of the things that we have, all the connections, a lot of the people that you mentioned there, right? That we've all become really good friends, and we've all, and all of those
Yeah.
guys have helped you out and kind of, have showed you the ropes, and it's really cool that now you're doing that all across Latin America and beyond, right? Because I've seen you in other countries doing the same thing. Um, there was a big explosion of Texas barbecue, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of plateaued for a little bit, but I think it's kind of back on the rise again, right? So
Hmm.
going back to your first competition in 2018, and then you end up crushing it one of the years, and then just kind of going up. Tell us about your experience in the World Championships at Houston, and kind of, to me, I see that kind of as the catapult for you that kind of took you to the next level, right? And now you've
Yeah.
been traveling and cooking and everything. What year was that? And kind of walk us through how all that came to be. And also
Mhm.
talk to us a little bit about San Antonio as well, because I know that's a special one for you too.
Yes, of course. In the World Championship, well, first going back to when we met, yes, we
Mm-hmm.
met the Snows. I remember Danny was there. Danny, when he was skinny, then he got fat, then skinny again. So
Danny
that
Castillo from
that
Heritage
certainly,
Barbecue.
yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I'm not gonna say anything because I've been through that phase
I,
myself.
I,
So,
I love
so
Danny. I love Danny. He knows I love him, but
he's my
uh,
brother, man.
yeah, he's a great, great, great guy. Another guy that I love in barbecue. But yes, I started competing, 2018. Then 2020, I got a shot at the Houston Barbecue Cook-Off. I got a spot there because that's by invitation, and that's the first year we came. We learned a lot. Then there was COVID, so 2021 there was no audition. In our second year, we came back 2022, and we hit the third place overall.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
around 3,300 teams on time. So third place overall. I remember it was a fourth place brisket, a fifth place brisket, 11 ribs, and like 30 something chicken, but third overall. So that's the thing that matters for us also. And that, I mean, we're the first international team to place that high in an overall position. And also that opened many doors for us. Personally, Patty Genius from Patty's Mexican Table flew to Linares to do an episode on my restaurant. I got invited to several programs. So I think that's where everything started to skyrocketing. And it was kind of nice. I mean, I was already doing some classes and everything, but now with a title, something like that, it has more relevance. And like I remember some of the guys from some of the restaurant barbecue guys from Texas, they told me like, we knew you like you were good, but now you have something to back it up.
yeah.
So that also helped me a lot. And I have also, I mean, that's what all started to go high. And honestly, I love it because I like what I'm doing. I love barbecue. I love cooking for other people. I think for me, one of the best things you can do is cook for someone and then see their expression, see how they enjoy the food. I mean, that's something
Hmm.
that you cannot put a price on.
Yeah, no, And one of the things that I've known about you ever since the beginning is you always like to try to bring people up with you, right? And obviously winning a you know third place at a world championship like that, Houston event, is huge. But it's not just you, right? I mean, it's your whole team, and you always travel with great team, and I've met so many great people. And it's not, and it's always you, always bringing other people with you to try to bring them up too. Who was all part of that team? Talk to us kind of about that dynamic and the teams that you've had. And I know that in San Antonio, they you were part of helping build that international village there too. We can kind of go into
Yes,
that as well. Yeah.
I always like to invite friends to have the experience of the competitions, even though they are not in barbecue or they have another restaurants and other things to do. But I like to invite them and to bring them with me. Um, like let's say Totti, you met Totti. He has a ramen restaurant. He has nothing to do with barbecue, but I bring him like Jorge, Carlos from Guayabo, all those guys that they cook a lot for the people. Then I have friends that I come to cook with me for the competition also. Like Zaira, she does the shirt with us. Also helps in the open category. Mauri is also that cooks also in the competition. Mauri from Brondi. Uh, I mean, we have Jaime. Sometimes we have Robert once, we have Eddie also, we have Tony Bedia, we have Willie, we have Memo, we have Adrian Gonzalez, Ceci. I'm trying to remember all of them. If I
Yeah,
miss
yeah,
someone,
no.
please don't blame me.
No,
Yeah,
no,
because,
no.
but I'm
Yeah,
trying to
no.
remember as much as I can.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah, no, that's cool. That's just and I know that you've invited me even to come out and doing your classes or your events and things like that. So I really appreciate it that you've included me in the past and in some of your events as well, because it's really a cool experience. And we'll get into all the classes and everything that you do as well, because those are a lot of fun. But yeah, San Antonio. Talk to us a little bit about that event and how much it's grown and everything since you got started with that.
that was for San Antonio. I started the international village with Canada team. So that was for us. I mean, for me, it's a very proud moment because Canada and Mexico were the first international teams to be invited in the competition. I helped with them in everything for the rules, how to set up the place and everything, get some sponsors in, and we are they say that we are the grandpas of the international village. So for us, that means that we have a secure spot every year that we want to go. We have a secure spot in San Antonio, and that for us, I
Nice.
mean, for me, it's amazing. Opening the doors to more Mexicans to go to compete, and also, showing what we can do in Mexico is just amazing for me.
Yeah, and now you have like Venezuela and Brazil and Sweden, Canada. Like, I mean, I've been with you on one or two occasions there, and got to meet a lot of these guys. Man, that's pretty awesome. And to know that you have that grandfathered in, for the future, that you can always go back there, is pretty awesome. Hey, you got to send a shout out to Pauis, who's your little daughter
Yeah,
who actually cooked at that event, right?
yeah,
This
she's
year.
probably barbecue. Probably barbecue. My daughter. She's got cooked. She was the first international kid to cook in both in San Antonio and Houston rodeo.
Wow.
Uh, she did a pork shop at San Antonio, and she did a ribeye at Houston, and she was really happy. I mean, she was the one that asked me to take her because she said, "Daddy, I wanted to compete cooking." And well, in Mexico, they won. My kids won the Grill Master, the junior. They won it when they competed. And my son, he told me, I won already. I'm done with food, with barbecue. I'm a champion. I'm gonna retire as a champion. That was it for him. Uh, but Pawi, she said, Dad, I want to compete. I want to do more stuff. And I told her, well, in Mexico, there's no other kids queue, but if you want to come with me and compete in the United States, I mean, you're more than welcome. And she said, Daddy, she's going to be in Spanish or English? And I told her it's going to be in English. He said, well, that's not a problem for me, so let's do it. And she came with us first to San Antonio, and it was really nice to have her. You know, that's a proud moment. And then in Houston, shout out to the guys in Houston because she got sponsored by the city of Houston, by Houston itself. So not me, I mean
Wow.
her. She was sponsored by
Wow.
Houston, and I mean, I was sponsored also, but that's other stuff. She had her own sponsorship, and she competed there. They bought her flight and everything. Hotel was
Oh,
everything included, and even they even put them like the Uber app. They have the Houston account so they can move wherever we want to go, and you know they even went to the aquarium because Houston gave them tickets. So I mean, the city of Houston was just amazing with us, and Paul loves Houston. The only thing is that my daughter now thinks that I'm a millionaire because we stay at a really nice hotel and everything at the Sasa in the medical area in Houston, a nice hotel. And now she's telling me like, Dad, when are we going back to the Sasa hotel? I want to go stay there for a week. Like, Ali, it's not gonna happen soon.
take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah. And then she got used to all these Uber blacks in escalates, they keep picking her up and everything. I mean, it was just fun to see her.
Hey, that's just a peek into the future, man. That's just a peek into the future.
I was told she's gonna be the world champion one day. I think she's
Yeah.
gonna. I don't know if we're gonna make it. I think I want to make it eventually, but I'm sure she's gonna make it.
Heck yeah. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, well, before we get into that, if Bowie says, Dad, I want to go into culinary school and follow your path,
Huh?
are you? I
Yes.
know you're. I had the conversation with your dad. Your dad was like, "No," I was like, "No way, he's not going to do that." So that's why I made him go to college first. Oh,
Uh,
would you? What would you say if your kids came up? Ricardo probably not going to go that route, right? We
nah,
already established that.
he already said he wants to go to finance. And he
Yeah.
wants to go to Switzerland with one of my friends to do an internship. He's out of cooking. He doesn't want to do
He's
it.
retired champion, man. What can you
Yeah,
do,
right,
right?
first place. I cannot blame
Yeah,
him.
right.
Paui yet. I heard that story. If Paui asked me that she wants, if Paui told me that she wants to go through a culinary route, I gave her two advices. One, if she can study there's an engineering in food here in Mexico, ingeniero en industrias alimentarias.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a food career that my sister studied, and you learn the culinary stuff through the chemics, everything that's like the other side. It's a very good complement. If
Right.
she can do that, that would be amazing, and then complement it with a culinary career. If she wants to do only the culinary career, I would say let's do it, no problem. But go to the best, go to the cordon bleu, go somewhere where you're gonna be the best, and then I'll call Ronnie Killen. Ronnie, I'm gonna send you my daughter for a year for you to train
Yeah.
her in the restaurants. I'm gonna call Jaime Cavazos. Cavazos, please train my daughter. I'm gonna take her with the best. So that's the difference because when I grew up, my father had no connections. So I have a lot of friends and friends in very good positions and that they're very successful. And I know that they are gonna be willing to help. I talked with Ronnie once about this, and I told her, Ronnie, if my daughter wants to cook, I'm gonna send her to you and say bring her. So
That's awesome, man. That's
also, she
awesome.
said that I always say that she's gonna be the. I mean, she already asked me. She told me that the restaurant's gonna be mine, right? And said yes. I mean, that's your restaurant, Ricardo. I mean, she already seen her way there.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a good segue into my next question. All right, so all right, you got into barbecue. You started cooking competitions. You were very successful. Now you opened a lot of doors for you. You got invited to do a lot of different cool things. You open a restaurant. When did you open the restaurant? And tell us a little bit about the restaurant and how it's run and all that good stuff too.
Sure. The restaurant was open 2021, I think. Yeah, 2021. Because next year, the 2026 is our fifth anniversary. And then, I mean, I started the restaurant because there was an opportunity. One of my friends closed his restaurant, and we went to the goodbye party, and we were there. And I asked him, "Hey, what are you gonna do with all the equipment?" He said, "Well, I'm gonna storage it, and maybe I'm gonna open another one afterwards." And we were talking and said, "Well, are you really gonna open another restaurant?" He said, "No, you know what? No, I'm not gonna open another one. That's it." I said, "Well, how much do you want for everything?" And he said, like, X amount on this. And I said, I remember calling my wife and telling her, "Hey, you know what? I want to buy a restaurant and we're going to open in 2 weeks." So that's how we started. It was not planned. It was an opportunity, and I took it, I bought everything and opened the restaurant. It took
Man,
me in 2 weeks after that. But there was no plan. There was no, business model, anything, just open. Let's do it.
yeah, yeah. And really the person that that really runs that place is your wife, right?
Yeah,
She's the one.
yeah,
Yeah, Vanessa is like really like she's the boss over there, right? I mean, I've been there and all of the employees that you guys have and everything. She's running that thing. I mean, obviously you're traveling quite a bit, right?
yeah.
You're doing, yeah, you're doing a lot of things. So that dynamic for you guys, it's she's been able to run that thing, and man, the food's fantastic. I mean, the ambiance, you feel like you're in a little Texas, restaurant somewhere,
Yeah.
which is really cool. But yeah, how's that been with working with your wife and kind of running a restaurant?
I think we have a really good dynamic. I say,
Hmm.
for me, she's the boss. I mean, I thought you are the owner. I'm just a pit master. I'm just the cook. So treat me like that. I'm not gonna take any decision here. You hire, you fire, you do whatever you want here. I'm just gonna cook and do the other stuff. So I travel almost every week. I'm not there. I mean, in the past 6 months, I think I've been 3 weekends in the restaurant, maybe.
Hmm.
So I do all the other stuff, which is helping to grow the brand also because I mean the restaurant is a small portion of our business. What we do mostly now is we sell the brisket, vacuum seal brisket, already done in 4 cities here in Mexico. We sell in Monterrey, Mexico City, Guadalajara, and Querétaro, and we're gonna grow more. Hopefully, one more city or two more cities this year. The next year it's gonna continue to be growing and adding more stuff. We have our rubs coming that are we have 1 out of 3. We have also barbecue utensils like the gloves and everything. We're gonna have them with our brand. We're on the work with that right now. I have the classes, the catering. We have several incomes from RIVS, not only the restaurant. I see almost everything, just not the restaurant.
Hmm. Hmm. And the a lot of the things that you're doing when you're traveling, you're giving classes, right?
Mhm.
Um, and then you're also working events and things like that. Kind of walk us through some of the classes. I mentioned earlier I was fortunate enough to go to one of your classes when you were down here in
Nada.
Ensenada, right? In Ensenada, and it was really cool. But is that experience? Can you kind of walk us through so the listeners can kind of understand what you're doing when you're
Yes,
going to
I do.
travel?
I do barbecue classes here in Mexico. Of course, they're in Spanish. And what I teach them is around 3 or 4 proteins plus sides and something like that. So we go through everything, through the basics, through the theory, through the practice, and eating everything. I have already established how I do my classes. I do a class with brisket, ribs, chicken, and maybe picanha size in about 5 hours, maybe. So because I have some pre-cooked stuff, some stuff we finished there, and it's a really good way to so we don't bother bore people like because if we spend like I believe we spend 10 hours there, 12 hours there cooking whatever, they're gonna get bored eventually, and it's not gonna be nice an experience. So when we do them like 5 hours, people are still in a good mood, and everybody learns more.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a ton of people, obviously, in the U.S., especially Texas and California. A lot of Spanish-speaking folks too. Would you be willing to do? If people reached out, would you be willing to take your show on the road here to the U.S. and do a show in
Yes,
Spanish too?
of
Yeah,
course. I've
because
done two in my lifetime. I've done two, one in Texas, both in Texas.
okay,
Uh, the most recent, like 2 or 3 months ago in El Paso. But of course, I mean, I love to. And, and so if I can share something with people, of course, I'll do it.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you had me watching that hog a lot of the day. The fire on that hog a lot of
Yeah.
the day. You'd come by and check the temp, like, man, you need to add a little more. You need to add a little more heat here, eh? I'm like, all right, I got it, man, I got it. But man, it was such a great experience. So many, so many cool people from the community there.
Huh?
They all really looked up to you. It was really cool for me because we're old friends, and I saw you whenever you were just doing the competitions and whatnot, and then now you're kind of this star, like one of those. We joke around because one of those guys is like, oh my god, we got the Messi of barbecue
Yeah.
coming to teach this class, and I'm like, man, they to me, I see you as my buddy Luis, but man, in Latin America, you're a big star over there, man. How is that? Going to these big cities and all these people that crowd around you whenever you have these events. How does
Uh-huh.
that feel? Have you been able to 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 deal with that?
Well, it's kind of weird because what I always remember is that I mean barbecue is not that as huge. I think if I was a taco star or something like that, selling tacos, I will be way more popular than if I am as I am in barbecue. But I like it, and also there's a lot of people that write to me and then to ask me questions about barbecue and recipes or restaurants, and they say, "Oh, I didn't thought you were gonna answer me," and they were like, I always think like, dude, I don't like I'm not that big. I don't have like a 10 million followers. Like, of course I'm gonna answer you, even though I God gives me 10 million followers. Hopefully, I can still answer to every single message. But yeah, for me, it's just keep doing good stuff. Uh, I always say that I learned from the best, and they didn't hide anything from me. So I try to do the same.
Right.
Whenever someone comes and asks me about, hey, how to do this recipe, how to do brisket, how to do ribs, what rubs do you use, how to use it, I try to give them all the information because all those guys gave me the tips that can help me succeed. That's I'm doing right now. I remember that my first competition, well, my first big competition, I was talking with Roy Velasquez from Houston, from Portland, and I asked Roy, "Hey Roy, I'm not sure what to use in competition for rub because I mean it's not salt and pepper. So what should I use?" And he told me, "Try these rubs, which I use for competition, and then from you go there." And I bought them and tried them and start using some of those and start winning. And then that was an advice from a good friend.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And and what's cool is that now you're kind of passing that on. I mean, if you go to Monterrey, how many barbecue restaurants are there? I mean, there's so many of them, right? And I've been able to go
Yeah.
and hang out with you, and we've gone to visit a whole bunch of them, and I've become friends with all these guys. And now in your travels, are you seeing Texas style barbecue or barbecue growing just like it
Yes.
is in Monterrey?
A lot. I mean, there's a very besides the Monterey ones, the ones you already know, all Jimmy's, Nomada, Northeast, Ladies, all those guys. I mean, outside Monterey, we have pretty good barbecue. We have in Chihuahua. I'm traveling a lot to Chihuahua, um, and there's Peter Barbecue in Chihuahua, El Brisquetero in Chihuahua with Francisco. Those guys are doing really, really good stuff. There was a back row smokehouse. I don't think they're open still, but they were really, really nice concept. I've been doing some experiences with the Nubia Montes called barbecue wine there, which we do a barbecue class with wine, how's it, maridash. So it's also a concept that is pretty good. And then we have in Sonora, we have barbecue HMO, also really good. Mexico City, we have Caveman Grill. Caveman Mauricio, he's doing really good stuff. I mean, that guy is killing it. He's for me, he's kind of a John Bates of barbecue because he does everything from scratch. Even his sriracha sauce, everything, his pickles, his cherry. He do some smoke mixology, which is really good. Really, but really, really good. I mean, he's doing some good stuff. And we have other people like, of course, in Tampico we have Hit Masters Barbecue. Victor has spent a lot of time with me cooking. I went there, give a class, and help him open his restaurant there. He's doing amazing stuff. South, deep south, we have in Puebla, we have Mouse. In Tijuana, we have Angel from Smokebusters, Angel. Angel, he's doing okay. I don't want to get him high, but he's doing okay. He's good. That's all.
That's all you're gonna say about that?
He's a great guy. He's a better guy than a cook. So I could say that for sure.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get an opportunity to
Oh,
chat
he's a
with
good.
them. Yeah, hopefully we'll. We're doing this little Mexico Pitmaster series, so hopefully we're gonna have some of these guys on here as well. I know Caveman's gonna be on. I've already chatted with him, so yeah, I'm looking forward to that, man. Barbecue is booming.
Oh, before we go with that,
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
course, okay, I have to mention Northeast Barbecue in Maui from Bromley because those guys have helped me a lot. When my agenda started getting full and I was traveling all weeks and I was traveling, I was having trouble to adapt my schedule to my cooking time and everything. More than once, I asked Brian and I asked Maori, hey guys, please, I'm out of the city tomorrow. Please help me smoke the briskets for ribs for the weekend. And those guys smoked our meats. They pack it, and that's what we serve in ribs for several weekends. I mean, those guys saved my ass literally for several
Oh
weekends. I mean, I
man.
can be more than grateful for those guys. And I mentioned those guys because I trust them. I know how they cook. I know they cook different, but they're pretty good. So uh, I was really proud to have their product served in my restaurant, thanks to them.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, Brian's a good buddy. Yeah, I know he picked me up at the airport last time I was over there. So, yeah, he picked my dad and I up. So, yeah, man, and that's one of my favorite places too, man. Northeast is a really really good spot.
Yeah,
So, um, yeah, for those listening, if you ever want to do a barbecue run in Monterrey, I highly recommend it. There's so many really, really good spots. You can feel free to reach out to me. And, Luis already said he responds to messages, so you can reach out to him
mm,
too.
yeah.
So,
Also,
you
but
better respond,
remember,
huh?
I I only open on Saturday nights, and I'm also like 1 hour away, 1 hour, 2 hour away from Monterey. So we're kind of far from Monterey, but
Yeah.
trust me, the trip we're gonna make it worth it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And one thing you said is barbecue is um in Mexico, a lot of people eat it for dinner, really, mainly, right? There's not really like the
Yeah,
snows where you're
breakfast
getting
now.
up, yeah, getting up early in the morning
Yeah,
and
lunch or dinner.
yeah, exactly, exactly. So you talked to us a little bit about kind of what's in the future for you. You got sounds like you got a lot of stuff happening, right?
Yeah. Yes, I want to open a location here in Monterrey. I want to keep Linares as it is, a small location, but I want to have a big one in Monterrey. I want to. My main focus is not opening a lot of restaurants, but have a lot of selling points. I want to sell my barbecue vacuum seal through all over Mexico. Hopefully, Central and Latin and South America also one day. But let's start with what we're doing right now, which is Mexico, and then start to grow from there, or maybe the States. I don't know. But for me, that's the main focus of RIVS. Continue doing classes, continue doing events. We have the next year. I am confirmed to do the grill choice first for Al Super. Al Super is a huge, let's say, like an HEB, but from Chihuahua. So they are
Okay.
huge. The stores are amazing. They have really good quality in there, and I think they have around 80 stores open. So and they do a big festival every year. I did it this year for the first time, and they already invited me for the next year, which is going to be bigger. So
Hmm.
I mean, it's going to be fun and start. I mean, keep growing our barbecue community here in Mexico, and doing more stuff in Central and South America.
Cool, cool. What's your next biggest events that are coming up? Anything that folks
Interesting. I mean,
can come
besides
to?
the rodeos, which are San Antonio and Houston, I'm gonna
Hmm.
do a tour in Colombia. Uh, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cook in El Cielo, which is a French restaurant. They have Michelin stars, and then they are in Bogota and Medellin, and they also have locations in New York, Miami, and in Washington. So if you're in the States and want to have some good food, go to El Cielo in any of those locations. I'm gonna be there for two residences in the restaurant to cook, and they want me to do classes in other two cities. So that's gonna be big. And the great choice for a super Hermanos de Fuego de la Misión is gonna be another big one. And what else? I have classes coming right now. I'm booked all the way. Right now we're talking in November, so I'm booked already until May 2026. So
Damn.
I know I'm gonna go back to Chihuahua, Mexico City. I'm gonna bring Bill Dumas to do classes here in Mexico also. So it's gonna be as busy as it has been the past 2 years.
Man, that's awesome. And I always like that you always send me your agenda and say, "Hey, pick whichever ones you want to come to, man. Just let me know."
Yes, of
So
course.
I appreciate that, man. That's pretty awesome. I love that. Um, for the folks listening, if you want to check out Luis, he is on a few shows. I remember we were in Austin, Texas, one time with my family.
Mhm.
Um, I think it was Texas Monthly Weekend or something a couple
Yeah.
years ago, and yeah, this is a cool story. Is we were sitting there just chit chatting. I was telling my parents and my sister, we were at my sister's house, that Luis was on a show and that you guys want to check it out. I'm like, sure. So we pull it up. I think it was the Patty Jenkins show, right?
Yeah, but in Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it was on Amazon Prime. So if you guys want to check it out, it's on Amazon Prime. But anyway, we were watching this show, and Luis and Patty are cooking this. It's ribeye, chicharrón de ribeye,
Yeah,
and it's like
all
some
right.
Asian rice and some shrimp, and it just looks amazing. And
El
I
Guayabo style.
yeah, el guayabo style, and and my sister and my parents like, oh man, que rico, it looks delicious. And then Luis said, you guys want it? Let me cook it for you. And right then and there, went to the store and then hit the local HEB
Mhm.
and picked up all of the ingredients. And while we were watching the show, Luis is cooking the dish for us. So that's one of the things that I'll always remember. And I'm very thankful for that experience, Luis,
The
because
4D experience.
yeah, 4D experience. Um, no, man. So anyway, I really appreciate it, man. I know you're still just skyrocketing up, man. You got a lot more to come. I'm very excited to see you continue to grow. Um, if there was any pit masters over there in Mexico or anywhere across, our listening folks, that are wanting to start up a barbecue business, what would you recommend to those guys?
First of all, try to approach someone that has experience and learn from there. Try to go to barbecue joints. A lot of the guys that we know, they are very open to share their knowledge. So don't be afraid to ask questions. Um, and start with good quality always. That's a tip that Ronnie Killing gave me, and that's one of the best tips anybody has given me always. That don't mess up with quality. Quality should be your cornerstone for everything. Ronnie told me his words something like this. I said, people want to win some cents by reducing the quality of what they bought, but if they operate and they top it, I mean, you can start making dollars, not cents. So I think that as a pillar for our restaurant and what we do, and we only work with the best quality we can get. I don't think much about the price because I mean, if the price goes up, my price goes up. Easy as that. If people
Mm-hmm.
don't buy it, I mean, I have taken items out of my menu because people don't buy them, which I think they are good, but I don't want to reduce the quality. I don't want to be a spot serving boneless wings or whatever there just to make it the cut. So we do barbecue. We are very proud of what we do, and we don't mess up with quality. We have all of our meats. They are U.S. meat. We bring everything from the U.S. meat, everything USDA. We use CAB, certified Angus beef, brisket. We use IBP ribs, and our chicken is that's the one is local. And pork, when we can get a hold of IBP, we do also Sherman Reserve. So we try to get the best quality we can.
Nice. And what do you guys cook with? What type of woods do you get there in Monterrey?
Post oak. I have post
Oh,
oak.
oh,
Yeah,
nice. Damn,
just
that's awesome.
yeah. I do only post oak. For the ribs, maybe I also have applewood. So I always get applewood. So for the ribs, maybe sometimes I do applewood. But for me, the ribs are the thing that I can play with because one weekend, and if I'm in the restaurant one weekend, I can do it like piloncillo with cafe de olla style. Other day, I can give them an Asian profile. Other, I can do only like salt, pepper. I mean, it depends of what I'm feeling that weekend, but I try to change them a lot.
Awesome, man. Great. Well, man, I really appreciate you coming on the show. One of the questions that I like to ask whenever I'm finishing up is if you could tell us something about you that most people don't know. Can you share something maybe?
Something like what?
Tell us something about you that most people don't know.
Most people don't know. Easy. I don't like cheese.
You don't like
I
cheese?
don't like cheese. I don't like cheese. I fucking hate cheese. And people, now people know that, but I don't like cheese. And also, now that I'm doing the wine stuff with Nubia, and she's trying to teach me how to smell the aromas of the wines and everything, dude. I don't have the sense of smell. I mean the wood has fucked me up. the all the smoky meats. I don't distinguish shit from the wines. I mean, I can taste them. I can taste the tanino, the acidity, everything. I can taste it. But when I'm smoking, when I'm smelling, I don't smell anything, man. It's kind of weird.
That's awesome, man. Oh man, that's great. That's great. All right, so if people want to follow you or get a hold of you, what's your social media? Where can they find you?
Of course, first of all, the restaurant is Rivs Grill, and remember, Rivs is Rivs RIVS, no RIV apostrophe S. That's not Rivs. That's Rivs is the 4 letters, and that's it. And then my personal account, which is the one I use the most, is luisrivas.mx. That's
Okay,
the
Lucy.
two accounts.
All right, so Reeves, is that a play on ribs?
Yeah, it's ribs altogether, not ribses.
Yeah, right. But your last name is Rivas, but
Rivas.
you wanted to make it a play on ribs with a V instead. Is that accurate?
Exactly. Yeah,
All right.
when I did the trademark thing, it
Uh-huh.
was a problem because phonetically it's Rivs. So,
Yeah.
but since my last name is Rivas, they let me get it. But it took me more than a year to get it trademarked. Well,
Wow.
Inaki, my lawyer, not me. Inaki did it.
All right.
That's also a fun fact. Now my accountant is Adrian for my barbecue team, and my lawyer is Inaki also, which I know from barbecue and from playing Call of Duty with him. So now my friends handle those. Two of my friends handle the most important aspects of my life.
Oh, wow. And they're connected to you in the barbecue scene. That's
Yes,
awesome, brother. No, well, thanks a lot for joining me. Nothing but success for you and your family, man. Keep crushing it out there. And yeah, man, I hope to see you very soon.
yeah. Well, thank you for having me, and enjoy talking to the other guys. They are great guys. We have a lot of good thing going on here in Mexico for because of barbecue. Very more a lot of festivals coming, and hopefully you can join us for some of those.
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna take a look at my schedule and see which ones I can go to and which ones I'm not gonna be able to. But of course, if you come down here for the Ensenada one again this year, put me down for that one for sure because that one's easy for me.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, brother. Take care, man. Good talking to
Okay,
you,
brother.
buddy.
Talk to you. Bye bye.
All right, bye bye.